Hello, I'm Jerry Fort. Welcome to Jungle Jerry's Treehouse. Kodiak Dinosaur. A story in the United States of Cryptids, a tour of American myths and monsters by J.W. Ocker. A Kodiak dinosaur? Kodiaks are big anyway. Aren't they like even bigger than a grizzly? That's kind of my understanding, but I don't know for sure about that. And I think Kodiaks are in Canada, mostly. But, yeah, and then you put dinosaur in the mix, which are big anyway. That would make a very, very big, unless they're talking about a dinosauric Kodiak. A dinosaur that is bear-like. I don't know. I'm kind of confused about that. Let's see what they say about it. Page 229. There you go. Let's go ahead and highlight it so I can know that I already read it. Kodiak dinosaur. My cryptid can eat your cryptid. So this Kodiak dinosaur, the type is an aquatic saurian. So is that what, a dinosaur that likes water, lives in water? Location is Kodiak Archipelago, Alaska. Maybe Alaska is where you can find Kodiaks more, maybe. That sounds kind of familiar, actually. Earliest sighting, 1969. Size, 200 feet long. Wow. Okay. Alaska is the biggest state, so I expect a big cryptid. Cryptid from it. Bigger than a Bigfoot, bigger than a Thunderbird, bigger than a lake monster. And it's said to hide all those creatures and more somewhere within its vast wilderness. But when it comes to gargantuan, supersized, colossal, gigantic, massive cryptids, Alaska does not disappoint. In fact, it might have the largest cryptid on the entire cryptid map with the Kodiak dinosaur. On April 15th, 1969, a 65-foot-long shrimp boat called the Mylark was trawling for small crustaceans in the Raspberry Straits, which wind through the Kodiak Archipelago off the southern shore of the state. The boat was captained by Chet Peterson, and what he and his crew found was not a shrimp, in either sense of the word. When the sonar alarm sounded, it detected something 55 fathoms, 330 feet, in parentheses, below. Something big, something approaching 200 feet long. The area is home to the largest creature that has ever called the planet home, the blue whale. But those cetaceans max out about half that length, which meant whatever was down there just knocked the blue whale down to second place. Besides, the shape returned on the sonar was no whale, not with its leg-like flippers, its long neck ending in a blunt head, and its long tapering tail. This seemed to be a massive aquatic reptile millions of years past its expiration date. To put the size of the Kodiak dinosaur in perspective, the Walgren lake monster of Nebraska is estimated at around 40 to 100 feet long. Champ, out in Lake Champlain in Vermont /New York, is 15 to 50 feet, and the Loch Ness Monster 10 to 45 feet, at 2/3 the length of a football field. The Kodiak dinosaur would barely fit in some of the lakes that boast lake monsters. When the Mylark returned to shore, the crew told their story, and the local Kodiak Mirror put it in print, which is how Ivan T. Sanderson heard about it. Sanderson was a British biologist and paranormalist who would become one of the founding fathers of cryptozoology. He got his hands on the strip of graph paper that the sonar printed the image on and immediately became an evangelist for the sighting. He first took it to the Norwegian company that had made the sonar, a Simrad EH-2A, a cutting-edge device imported to the U.S. through a subsidiary named Supervisors Incorporated. They claimed that the image had been tampered with. Undeterred, Sanderson talked to more than a dozen other maritime technology experts who validated the sonar image as unmanipulated. He concluded that the image showed a real monster, something prehistoric and now historic. His story, Alaska's Sea Monster, made the cover of Argosy magazine in June 1970. In it, he concluded, I, for one, am convinced that 1. Simrad is not faulty, 2. The ecogram is perfectly authentic, and 3. Somewhere in the icy waters, of the southern coast of Alaska, there's at least one monstrous marine longneck swimming around. And who knows how many more. Since then, although several smaller potential sea monsters have been sighted around Alaska, a monster large enough to be another Kodiak dinosaur wasn't spotted for another half century. This time it was discovered not by sonar, but by naked eyeballs. In parentheses, held wide open in terror. In 2002, 3 boatsmen, Dave Little, Tolaf Monson, and a third unnamed crew person, set off in a 22-foot skiff to net salmon in the waters off Kodiak Island. It was daytime, which gave them a good view of the massive head that suddenly broke the water at the port bow. According to the Kodiak Maritime Museum, Monson described it this way. There's this neck and head, and it wasn't like your hands around the neck big. It was like your arms around the neck big. Little described it as dark and moving, but was unable to give any more details because he had been driving. He didn't get a chance for a second look because as soon as the beast appeared, it dove back under. As a coda, John Carlson, a representative of the company that made the Simrad that first detected the beast, would later admit that after Sanderson's article came out, orders for the device rose exceptionally. Everybody wanted a machine that could find a sea monster. Unfortunately for them, the company didn't launch a sea monster marketing campaign. There's not a period there, but I was going to show you this. Can you see it? It looks very similar to, I can't remember the dinosaur that looks like this, but it doesn't have a tail like that. That's a different tail. The head is a little bit different too, but it looks like an actual dinosaur that did exist back in the dinosaur age. Okay, let me go back. A company that didn't launch a sea monster marketing campaign for the device, but they did stop actively discouraging, in parentheses, and possibly started encouraging that interpretation of the Mylark sonar readout. And you know who else should launch a sea monster marketing campaign? Alaska itself. Why shouldn't Alaska tout its giant? They could sell bumper stickers that read, "My cryptid can eat your cryptid." Put up welcome signs and say "Home of the world's biggest beast." print shirts with the Simrad image on them. They should really embrace this thing, even if they can't get their arms around its neck. That's pretty funny. With the bumper sticker that says, "My cryptid can eat your cryptid." I mean, not a whole lot of people are going to know what a cryptid is. I never knew what that was. I would have, if I would have saw that on a bumper sticker, I'd be like, I'm going to look that up and see what that is. But I don't think a whole lot of people know exactly what a cryptid is. But I mean, I may be wrong. But there you go. It's pretty funny. The United States of Cryptids: A Tour of American Myths and Monsters by J.W. Ocker. This was the Kodiak dinosaur. The Kodiak is the area or the city or the lake or whatever they're talking about. They're just talking about a dinosaur that was discovered in the Kodiak area. So I had that. It was kind of confusing until you read it, you know. But there you go. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.